All right, now, I think it's fair to say, man, we got a legend in the building. We got a Fort Worth icon in the building. Can you let them know who we got on Rico TV today?
I guess you got Miss Jazzy the Mogul, Natasha, Miss T. I'm probably gonna give y'all a little bit of all of me, all of those different people.
Right.
I think it really depends on from which industry you know me from. So, depending on who you got here. So,
okay. So first, I want to start off with just like your history. Are you originally from Fort Worth?
No, I am not originally from Fort Worth. I am originally from East Chicago, Indiana.
Oh, okay. So you're from Indiana?
Yep, I'm from East Chicago, Indiana. And born and raised.
All right. So what's it like out there? I hear a lot about Indiana as far as some of the rougher parts. Mm-hmm. And I know Indiana's a big basketball state. You know what I mean? But I guess I wouldn't assume that there's a lot of black people out there.
I guess where I'm from, because I'm from what you would call probably the hood. So from all I see is black people. I don't see a lot of white people. We see a lot of Mexicans and black people from East Chicago, where we're from, which is right outside of like Gary, Hammond, Indiana, all of that. But no, not a lot of white people. I've been in Texas since I was about, I guess, 13 years old, 12 or 13 years old. Okay.
So you moved to I noticed you didn't say Fort Worth, you said Texas. So did you?
Fort Worth.
Okay.
I moved to Fort Worth when I was about 12 or 13. I think I was in the 8th grade.
Okay. And what side of town did you move to?
The southwest side. It was on the southwest side. I went to Wedgwood.
Okay.
Yep, I went to Wedgwood Middle School.
Okay.
8th grade.
I don't know why.
That's where I got my start at.
I don't know why I assumed you was from the south side.
I look like a south side girl.
I'm not going to say that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that was just an assumption.
I give you south side vibes.
I think so. But it's all good. So let me ask you this. I know in Fort Worth, we have kind of a unique history as far as at one point we were, I guess, the murder capital of the world. Were you here when that was going on?
Pretty much, I would say.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this from a female's perspective. What was it like? Like, did you see it change or was it already cracking when you got here?
Well, I wasn't hands-on. Like I said, when I got here, I was young. You know what I'm saying? I was in 8th grade and I actually was pregnant when I got here. So I was pregnant in the 8th grade.
Okay.
So I wasn't out there like that, but Fort Worth has always been gang heavy. So from what I saw was a lot of gang activities, been involved in shootouts, different little things like that. You know what I'm saying? So between different gangs and stuff like that. So that's basically what I would know of.
Okay. So let me ask you this. With you being pregnant in the 8th grade, was it hard to finish school like that?
You definitely had to be disciplined, you know.
Right.
You would have to be disciplined. I wouldn't say it's hard because I was still a child. You know what I'm saying? So I was at home and I didn't have a whole bunch of options. You know, my granny didn't play that. So. Right.
One thing I've noticed about women who have kids to what society would consider early, because I technically, you know, I don't think whatever happens is supposed to happen, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I noticed that a lot of women like that are usually like bosses, end up bosses. And would you say that it's because maybe having to grow up a little faster than most people, or would you say you noticed that as well?
I would say I think it would come from the need of having to have people depend on you. I think the biggest reason the way I am the way that I am is because I've always had people to depend on me. So it's never really been just about me. It's always been bigger than me, and it's about all the other people that's depended on me, and it's still like that today. So I think when you start to have kids at a young age, if you are mature enough to literally take care of those kids and become a mother and actually, you know, be a mother figure, then you just do what is naturally in a mother, which is to survive and take care of your babies and do what you got to do.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So you went through middle school. We're gonna skip pretty much. First of all, what high school did you go to?
Went to Southwest.
Southwest.
And I went to OD Wide a little bit.
Okay, okay. Yeah. I was supposed to go to Wide, but I ended up going to South Hills. So you went to Southwest. Mm-hmm. I heard Southwest in I don't know, you don't even have to get specific on when you went there, but I heard Southwest was really racist in the 80s, as early as the 80s.
I don't know, because I wasn't there in the 80s. I ain't that old.
Right. No, right. But had you ever heard anything?
When I was at Southwest, it was in the 90s. I was there probably, 94, 95. I would have graduated in 97. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in the 90s when I was at Southwest.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, let's talk about... 90s. Okay. So let's talk about transitioning into adulthood. First of all, we all know you as an entrepreneur here in Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. Where did that come from? Because let me say this. I'm going to assume you've been an entrepreneur since before it was cool to be an entrepreneur. Like now, today, it's cool. It's the thing to do. But I remember you being an entrepreneur back when it wasn't a fad. So where did that spirit come from? What made you want to get into business?
Well, for me, I always been bossy. I always wanted to tell people what to do. I always been a leader. I always was starting some type of club, some type of organization. I was always selling something. I always just wanted to have a little bit more than everybody else. I always wanted to get money and, be a go-getter. I just knew that I had that gift to just kind of do my own thing and make my own money. I definitely didn't like my money being capped off. I just know I had so many ideas and so much potential. So I've been an entrepreneur a long time.
Right. Okay. Have you ever worked a 9 to 5?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you wouldn't. I don't think that you would probably be a great entrepreneur if you haven't worked in corporate world. So I've been an employee. I've been a worker. I've worked 9 to 5. I've been in corporate America. I was a nurse for over 10 years. I did oncology and hematology. So I took care of cancer patients and patients that had sickle cell. My sister's a sickle cell patient, so I took care of her. So I administered chemotherapy on a daily for over 10 years. I've worked in group homes. I've worked in corporate America. I've worked in sales jobs. I've been human resources. So I've done a little bit of everything.
Wow.
To be well-rounded. I've worked fast food. I've worked at the Waffle House.
Wow. That's crazy. I would have never, ever guessed that.
Yeah, my first job was, I want to say Taco Bell. It was Taco Bell, and I wasn't even old enough to work. I rigged that up so I could work.
Right.
I think I was 14, but I had already had a child already, so.
Facts. What's Taco Bell?
Taco Bell right there off of Alta Mesa.
Oh, Alta Mesa? Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that Taco Bell, and then it was the Popeyes right there on the park.
Okay.
Well, is the Popeye still right there?
It is. Yeah. It is. All that stuff still right there.